The groom's smile cracks a half-second before the music swells. I catch it because that's my job, to notice fractures before they become disasters. My finger tightens on the shutter. The camera clicks. And in that click, the truth arranges itself like a firing squad. I'm standing 10 feet from the altar, framed by roses that smell like innocence and money. Everyone thinks this is a perfect wedding. Everyone except I've already seen the bruise beneath the makeup. I've already cataloged the lies hiding in the light. Know what's about to happen because I planned it, because betrayal taught me how to plan. I breathe, steady my hands. I am the photographer. I am also the confession no one asked for. We met years ago under worse lighting. He needed a headshot for a startup pitch. He needed rent. We laughed about the same thing. She paid on time. He said I had an eye for truth. He told him, the lens doesn't lie, people do. Later, I met her, the bride, when she booked me for a charity. Galash was gracious in a way that felt rehearsed. Kind with an undertone of vigilance. He liked her immediately. She tipped generously. She asked me to send candids, not retouch smiles. Want the real thing, she said. That's the trap, isn't it? People ask for truth and then punish you for delivering it. Back then, I trusted both of them. Back then, I didn't know trust was a currency that depreciates fast. The betrayal didn't announce itself. It never does. It leaked. A laugh held too long. A phone angled away. A hand that withdrew when it should have reached. I noticed it first because I was paid to notice everything. Caught reflections in mirrors, glances that synchronized too precisely to be coincidence. The way he softened around her in a room where she wasn't supposed to be. I told myself stories to quiet the alarms. I was wrong. The alarms were right. The evidence came quietly. A night shoot ran light. The venue, MTD, was packing up when the elevator doors closed too slowly. In the mirror finish, I saw them, him and someone else. Not the bride, her sister. Of all betrayals, a hand on arista kicks that wasn't drunk or impulsive. It was practiced. I took the photo by instinct. No flash, high, isograiny, intimate, unmistakable. The camera doesn't lie. People do. I didn't confront anyone. That's how you lose leverage. I cataloged. I waited. I learned pattern. Slate meetings that weren't meetings, weekend conferences that happened 10 minutes from his apartment, texts deleted in batches, which is how amateurs erase guilt. I built a quiet archive, metadata, time stamps, faces, locations, the sort of truth that survives cross-examination. And then the bride called. She wanted me for the wedding. I accepted calmly, professionally. I sent a contract with a clause no one reads, artistic discretion over image selection. She signed it with a flourish. Justice doesn't rush. It rehearses. Planning revenge isn't rage, it's arithmetic. You measure cost, you measure timing, measure fallout. I didn't want bloody, wanted clarity. I wanted consequences that fit. First, I secured backups offsite. Encrypted, then I consulted a lawyer friend who owes me favors and doesn't ask questions if images are acquired in a public or semi-public space, she said. Truth has a way of defending itself. Second, I spoke to the bride's mother, not about the affair, about photography, about tradition, about vows and pauses, and the sanctity of momency. Planted the idea of a slideshow, memories before the ceremony, harmless, sentimental, proved. Third, I waited for the right photograph. It arrived the week before the wedding. He and the sister Gainen, the reflection of a boutique window wedding, favors in a bag at their feet, their hand on his chest, over the place a heart should be. That's the one. That's the blade. The morning of the wedding, the light is merciless. It exposes everything. I watch him rehearse his smile, watch her sister fix the bride's veil with hands that have held the groomy, frame them separately together, give nothing away. The bride is luminous. She asks me if I'm okay, say yes. The light tastes like metal. Before the ceremony, I ask for a moment. There's something I need to show you. I say, keep my voice level professional. She follows me into a side room where the noise dims and the truth can breathe. I don't speaky hand her the camera. She studies the image. Her face doesn't shatter. It stills. Silence is a language, becomes fluent in it instantly. Is this real? She asks. Yes. Is there more? Yes. She nods once, the kind of nod that rearranges a future. What do you want? She asks. I think of all the ways this could end. I choose restraint. I want you to have the truth. I say, what you do with it is yours. She hands back the camera. Stay close. She says, you'll need to be ready. The ceremony begins. Music rises like a promise that won't be kept. I do my job. Wide shots, close-ups, the groom's hands shaking just enough to be suspicious, the sister's eyes too bright. When the officiant asks if anyone has reason to object, the room holds its breath. No one speaks. The bride doesn't flinch. She's smarter than that. Vows. He recites love like a script he's memorized. She listens like a judge. Then she steps forward. I have something to share, she says. Her voice carries before we continue. A murmur ripples. The officiant hesitates. The bride's mother nods. The projector hums to life. This was the mother's idea. This was the bride's execution. Images bloom on the screen. Childhood laughter, safe memories. The room relaxes. Then the cut. The terrible photo. The reflection. The kiss. The bag of wedding favors at their feet. A collective gasp punches the air out of the room. The groom turns. Paleth, the sister, makes a sound that isn't language. Phones rise. People are cruel when they're shocked. They document instead of intervene. I trusted you, the bride says, softly. Trusted both of you. She doesn't cry, doesn't shout. She lets the truth do the work. I won't marry a man who practices betrayal, she says. I won't protect liars with my silence. She removes the ring, sets it on the altar like evidence. I'm done. The aftermath is choreography. Security escorts guests. Whisper. The officiant closes a book he won't need. I keep shooting out for them for history. Outside, the groom tries to speak to May. Don't let him. He's not my subject anymore. He's a cautionary tale. The bride finds me later here. Eyes are steady. Thank you, she says, not gratitude, acknowledgement. You saved me from a future that would have eaten me alive. I don't correct her. I didn't save her. I handed her a mirror. Weeks pass. The story circulates versions. Bloom. Some people say it was cruel. Others say it was necessary. The truth doesn't care what it's called. The sister leaves town. The groom sells his startup at a loss. Consequences are quiet. They look like empty rooms and unanswered messages. I deliver the final gallery. The bride asks for one image, framed, not the kiss, not the scandal. It's a photo of her standing alone at the altar, light falling exactly where she is. Strength, she says, want to remember that. I think about betrayal differently now. It isn't loud, it's precise. So is justice. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't swing a fist. I used what I had. Patience, evidence, timing. The camera? The camera doesn't lie. People do. And when they do, sometimes all it takes is one photograph shown at the right moment to make the truth rise, to make everyone gasp, to let the betrayer fall and the betrayed stand taller than before. I pack my gear, move on. Confessions end where they should, with clarity.